of small companies there for about 8 years. And then I was VP of marketing for a company that was in wireless in Seattle. And the CEO had some health issues and said, hey Ken, the board just chose you as the successor CEO. And I said, I'm sorry, I'm moving to Boise. I'm glad we had this conversation. And I left tech to move here to Boise for a brilliant move on my part, which I thought was to come out here and develop downtown real estate. And so I joined my father in the family business that he has developing. And we built Cityside Lots, which is a common project right as you drive into the country. But when I moved here, my dad had worked out of his basement and said, we can't do that, we need an office. And so we went to my brother, who's a local commercial real estate broker, and said, hey, get us an office. And he got us an office, a 2-person office over at the Eagles building in downtown Boise, right across the melting pot near the City Hall. And down the hallway, this company, CradlePoint, was starting there with 3 people. And they had just moved out of a basement somewhere as well. And Pat Sewell is the founder of CradlePoint, and he's doing another company right now you've seen, is a phenomenal entrepreneur. And I'll give you an example. When I was there with my dad, Pat would walk down the hall into my office, or our office, and go into my dad's office and say, hey, Steve, I got this great company. He tried to explain it. He said, I'd like you to invest 100 grand, but I'll take 5 or 10. And any of you guys here that are, true entrepreneurs and have had to do this initial, raising of money from the very beginning, I mean, you know how difficult this is sometimes. You're going to ask family, friends, etc. And one of the signs of a great entrepreneur is a guy that has a really thick skull, who's not embarrassed to take the 99 rejections of no in exchange for getting those yes. So of course my dad said no. He said, look, all my money's tied up in real estate. Then he'd come over to my office and say, hey Ken, you're a high-tech wireless guy. Why don't you come help? You could be a technical advisor. And I said, no way, Pat. I said, real estate's doing really well right now, and I just don't have the time. So fast forward to about 4 years ago, Pat called me up with about 65 people and said, hey Ken, we're serious, we're doing well, and don't give me this real estate excuse. So I joined CradlePoint about 4 years ago, and I've just had a great time. And I'll just briefly, CradlePoint has some of the best customers in the world in terms of, Taco Bell Pizza, Kentucky Fried Chicken, Redbox, Home Depot, Barnes & Noble, Bank of America. The city of New York just bought 4,000 of our wireless routers that convert the 3G, 4G internet that you use with your smartphones, convert it to Ethernet and Wi-Fi. And so you put it on a bus and they're using it for passenger Wi-Fi. They're using it for video surveillance to make sure, for security. They're using it for digital signage inside the bus. And so the whole idea is how do you harness that wireless internet and be able to use that in mobile ways or for different business applications. After Hurricane Katrina came in, State Farm came to CradlePoint, bought 20,000 of our routers. What they wanted is they had a perfectly good router in their branch offices, and they found that when the hurricanes come in, it floods the wireless network and takes out their networking. And State Farm, like many companies, have migrated all of their applications up into the cloud. And when you do that, your Achilles heel is that network connection. And so what CradlePoint is doing is providing a failover connection to use the 3G, 4G internet into the back of their perfectly good Cisco router that they already have. And now when the wired internet goes down, it fails over to the 3G, 4G internet, and they can, that's when their customers need them the most. They're processing claims. All that information, customer information, is out in the cloud. The reason wireless is good in these natural disasters is all the mobile companies have trucks with cell towers on top of them. They're either called colts or cows, cellular on right trucks or cellular on wheels. And these are the ones you'll see at sporting events, but when there's a natural disaster, they roll it in. They light it up, restore service, and there you are. So that model has just been enormous. That's how CradlePoint fell into the enterprise space and became a serious enterprise networking player.